Okay, in this video I will just uh, give you guys a little bit of a guide and a little bit of knowledge of Slayer, and I will basically review all of the skills that I have and use right now, and maybe show you a little bit of hidden mechanics that you may or may not have known about just yet. So, for starters, these two skills are quite known. One is putting your weapon away and starting to run, but that is not really that useful here for this video. The ice skill I can just show you. It's more of a warden skill, so I won't really go deeply into that. But it's back RM LMB, and it basically fires that. For our third skill, we have, well, I don't know the Korean names for any of these skills, so I'll just name them. Let's call this one Dagger Stacking from Hell. It basically stacks the daggers you can throw as long as you want, as long as the stacks are up here at the top left corner. So if I stack one up, there will be a 1 counter in the top left corner, and if I use the skill again, it will add up to how many times you have stacked it so far. For our fourth skill, we have a triple kick, which is quite basic, but the nice feature about this, if you just knock someone on the ground and it stays on the ground, you can just force them to get up in the air. The next skill is just a single kick, which is quite similar to lift kick from Assassin. The only thing that makes it a little bit different, it doesn't have that much range. So, to be honest, I'm not using it that much. I just put up 1 point into it just for the shits and giggles. Because some people use it, some people don't. I honestly never do. And for the next skill, we have, I don't know, Thunder Collapse from Ultimate Sexiness, I don't know. Which is triggered by S and RMB. Most of the skills you can trigger by RMB using, so the character is not that complex and really easy. So once again, it's back RMB, and this one should actually hit twice, but because I have the second part of the skill, you can actually chain it up to 4 hits. So that's not really hard so far. Then we have Snowball. I just call it Snowball because it freezes people at a certain percentage. Yeah, that looked quite awkward, but normally it freezes just in one spot and it should be okay. So far on level 11, and I'm level 43. On level 11, it has a 50% freeze rate, so it's pretty good. I use it in PvP all the time. The moment you get like max level, it will be like, I think it was 70 to 80% freeze rate. So it's pretty good. It's one of the very few magic skills that I have. And here we have probably one of the most fun skills in my opinion. I only have it level 1 because Slayer is strength based, and dagger throws are wisdom based, so it won't do enough damage if you level it up more than once. So if I use this skill, it grabs a dagger and then throws it at people. Don't stand in front of it, idiot. So gotta stack it up because I don't have any more stacks. So I can just throw it like that. Gotta aim it though. And there are two basic mechanics of this. One is in the skill description, I think, but it is if you jump, you can press Q and throw one, which is quite fast compared to the actual throw. But here's a little hidden mechanic, and I don't think any of you know about it yet. If so, good for you. So if I press left mouse button Simultaneously, when I use the skill, it will insta throw the dagger instead of whoops, just grab the dagger first and throw it afterwards. So it's really nice if someone is in air and you need to instant punish someone for doing a bad job, or you can hit him easily. So for the next skill, this is the skill you will get probably probably at level 20, which has an additional level 45. It's one of the strongest skills. It has an invisible frame as well. The moment you use it, and some people use it to get out of silly situations. I'm not sure how it works, but the moment I trigger it, it grabs, and during this time, you cannot be hit. But if you miss, you just miss. So, the theory is the moment I grab, I turn invisible, and that way I can just dodge a few hits. But I'm not really sure about it, but I've seen videos with people doing it. I'm not able to test it for you, just take my word for it. And then the overhead smash, which is quite a nice skill, just visually. As for damage, is not really that good. Just to explain, this skill has a counter, and for each auto attack you do, you get stacks on the top left corner, which can stack up to 10 times. The more stacks you have, the more damage this skill will do. So, if I use it, it will just knock somebody down, and if you use it in a combo sequence, you can either jump afterwards or do whatever. So, you can chain that one. Personally, I just leave this skill at level 1 because the damage counter won't be up that high, because if you're a good slayer, you won't use auto attack that often, so it's not getting that good. For the next skill, it is, I don't know, acrobatic shit, which is quite similar to the triple kick. You just flip someone in the air, but if someone is on the ground, you can force them up in the air as well. Other than that, it doesn't do that much. Now we have the next skill, which has uh, quite a lot of damage, and I really like it. The moment you level up this skill, the traveling speed becomes faster, not the traveling distance. So for now, I travel quite slow in my opinion, but the moment you get max level, you will be like really fast. Other than that, I use it solely in combos, I guess, so I don't really need to travel either way. Nice addition to it. I don't know if it's the Korean lag or whatever, but projectiles just won't hit you during this move. So if someone just decides to charge up one of their shots, you can just charge at them and hit them either way. And here we have some kind of reflect skill, where you just hit one of the projectiles and it bounces off into the direction you're facing, or even the enemy's direction. I'm not sure about that. Haven't really used it that much in the Korean server because of the latency difference. So on to the next skill. This is a dash, which is also really fast, but it has a nice addition. The first dash we've seen cannot be changed in direction, but the second dash can be changed in any sort of direction. Uh, if you want to use this skill, you need to press your right mouse button to impact, but you can also miss it and the skill won't go off. So make sure to aim properly and time perfectly to execute it. And now for probably the most overpowered skill that Slayer has. If you guys remember Assassin Shift E, the little somersault, whatever. This skill is quite similar, but it has a ridiculous range. If I want to hit with Assassin, I should be around this type of space, but if I go from here with Slayer, you can just grab everyone and anyone. So it's probably one of the best skills that Slayer have because it's really easy to connect and you can basically punish everyone that rushes into you. Here we have one of the new skills that got recently upgraded in the Korean server. It's Shift F. It's another forced get up skill. I don't use it that often because with cooldown reduction you don't really have to use it all that often because in combos people will get on the ground and will have the ability to use either their get up or get up attacks to just cancel out your combos. So I don't use it that often, but it's quite funny, I guess. It looks like this. The more levels you put in it, the bigger the range gets, the stomp range gets, and I'm not sure about the air time, but I think it gets bigger as well. So, not really sure about that because I haven't used it more than level 1. So, that's about it. For our next skill, we have an air teleport, which is really, really good. It grants you an invisible frame for quite some time, and you won't be able to get hit, but you're still able to move accordingly. So if I just use it, I can still move left, right, back, forward. But if I go up in the air and chain it with some of the skills, I can still use anything. You can cancel this one by just simply pressing shift for any attack that you want. So if you have the only way to chain your teleport into dagger throws would be port shift and then Q. So port shift Q, and you basically use that skill for either insta punishes or whatever. Sorry for my runny nose. I had a cold for about a week since LA. It might be a little bit bad on your part, not on mine. So for our next skill we have um, air shift RMB, I think it is, which just lifts you in the air and smashes 2 times. This skill can also be performed while in the air at any time, so you can just air teleport, shift RMB, or you can just jump shift RMB, or you can just RMB shift RMB. But to be honest, the moment you use the skill, let me see if I can fix the range on it, then it would do more in the air than it would on the ground because it's not really that fast. It has a little bit of delay, whereas if you use it in the air, you won't have that much delay. And it gives you a nice mobility in the air, so I suggest you won't use it other than in the air like that. Now for one of the other most OP skills, pentagram from hell, which needs to be triggered by pushing the skill and pressing RMB all the time, so you can get all hits in. This skill is one of the best she has because it grants you super armor, uh, the red aura, so you won't be able to get interrupted unless you're grabbed. So if people just lay on the ground and you run toward them and they use their attack get up or they use their counters, you can use this and still be able to attack them fully, and they won't be able to interrupt you either way. So it's a pretty nice skill to punish people into, well, doing bad stuff. Well, moving on to Let's see which one is useful. Ah, this one. This is a skill which I don't often use, but it could be nice. If you auto attack with any type of auto attack, you can just insta Q and pop up your shield, because unlike hunter classes, Slayer or Witchblade also have a shield, except for Blade Dancer. They don't. They have different mechanics, I guess. So, this shield is actually quite weak. It's 3 hits and it's broken, which will get you stunned. And I don't think anyone in the CBT have ever seen one of the shields get broken by attacks, but in later updates, even Guardians and Elementalists or Shamans will get their shields nerfed, or at least the shield HP. I don't know about the shield regeneration. So, let's see. What else do we have? Ah, you have a double jump quite similar to the ones that Assassin has. The only thing is, this one has a cooldown timer. I'm not sure. It's 1 second in PvE and 7 seconds in PvP. So this one actually has a cooldown, so you can't always hop around like a bunny. Okay, for the next skill, we have a side evasion. The moment you level up this skill, uh, you will actually reduce the cooldown timer, so that makes it pretty good to level it up. So I did. Also, if you use this skill, you will be granted a invisible frame, so you won't be able to get hit during the use of it. It's quite similar to the dash or evasive attack of Assassin. It's pretty good. Then the second skill is in addition to the side slash. If you hold down right mouse button, you will hit a second time. This is useful because it also knocks up people from the ground. Let me get this bastard on the ground. There you go. And afterwards, you're able to combo. So for that, it's really easy. Also, a little tip that I use: only get this skill to level 1. The moment you level it further, the altitude that this skill will lift up people from the ground will get higher. But if I can just show you, if someone is on the ground and you want to use those thunder slaps, you won't be able to connect all 4 hits because the altitude will be too high. So that's why I take it only at level 1. Um, the next is just an E-grab. It's pretty powerful. Some people even max it to, well, as high as possible because it really does a lot of damage. Also, if you level the skill up, the altitude of your, I don't know, opponent will get higher as well. So if you have level 1, it will never reach that high. And I have it level 10 at the moment, if you guys can see properly. For the next skill, it is the same skill as Jump F from Assassin. This one only has a little bit less range, which can be used after um, air right mouse button, left mouse button, and then you can still use your F skill, which is practically the same as Assassin, I guess. For the next skill, we have some piercing skill, which is actually quite nice against people that use guards all the time. It's WF. You can charge it for as long as you want, but this skill will also use one of the purple dagger stacks. So make sure to um, have at least 1 stack if you want to use this skill. You can charge this up for as long as you want, but after this stage, you won't hit any more, or the dagger won't reach any further. This skill, I'm not sure if it's useful. I'd like to get it to get more air mobility. This skill allows you to um, actually use both your right mouse and your left mouse button in the air. So what it does is I can use left mouse button, right mouse button in a sequence instead of just being able to do either left mouse or right mouse button. And now for one of the other grab skills, or at least introduction to a grab skill. If you're in the air, you just simply press SF and you will charge in the air to wherever you point your mouse at. After you use this skill, you can press E and it will grab afterwards. If you don't, it will kick someone away. So it's like a really nice ring out. You can even throw a dagger at them at that distance. So that is that skill, the one that grabs. As for the four thunder slaps, we had that one, and our homemade pile driver, which we stole from assassins. We have one as well. So if you are in the air and simply use E, you can grab someone. That's pretty nice. So if you're in the air using other skills, you can just press E and win. I only have this skill at level 1 because it's nice to have, but I don't use it that often because you can, pardon me, you can just infinite combo anyhow. It's more for looks, in my opinion, or punishes. It could do a lot of damage, but at the moment I don't have the ESP to max it, so I won't. So as for what skills to max, in my opinion, and that is with every class I play, I just view the percentages in which the skills go up with damage, or um, check the skills for additional effects, and if you like the effects, uh, you can just max the skills. So for the triple kick, it isn't really that strong, and it has a short cooldown, but it's not really that significant, so I take it only level 1. The same for the singular kick. For the thunder slaps, I max them. It's one of your main damage outputs, so I suggest to max it as well. For the snowball, I really like the snowball. If someone is in the air or whatever, you can just throw it and freeze people. The more you level it up, the bigger the freeze rate gets. So it's a win-win situation everywhere. Like I said, the dagger is just level 1 because it's a magic skill and we're not magic based. As that. As for our, I'd like to call it the ultimate skill. I call like all 45 skills, ultimate skills. I don't know, some sort of Street Fighter reference. But yeah, I maxed it as well. It has really nice damage and it's really good in PvE, so it's really worth maxing besides PvP. The overhead smash, I only have it at level 2, but only just use it for level 1 because the damage output really isn't that great due the lack of stacks you will get during a full fight. The backflip kick, I don't know, I'll just come up with names as I go. The backflip kick, just max it, it has really nice damage, and um, the moment you max it, the altitude of your target will get higher as well, because I don't know, the skill description says so, but it's really nice because this way I have enough time to jump after my target and use basically whatever. The same goes for the first rush, which is really good for damage output. Just max it if you're able to use it in combos. My personal preference is, I don't know, I just max it because I can. For the reflect, I really have no idea how this will work out in PvP at the moment because I only play the Korean server with Slayer, and I really need to see how it works out. As for the curving dash, it has a lot of damage, and at level 10 you will be able to unlock the second edition because now it does 4 hits, and it will do an additional 2 hits as well. But in my opinion, after this one, you won't be able to combo, so it's not really a skill that I would want to take. This dash skill is only made for purpose that if I get in the first hit, the enemy will get stunned for about 1 maybe 2 seconds, so it's only worth 1 point for me. You can also combo it in the air, but that's just silly. It's fun to do and it's all flashy, but it's not really that functional. As for shift E grab, I just use it at level 1 because it brings my opponent just straight in my hands, and it doesn't do that much damage, so I'm not maxing it. You can if you want, not really that useful. The ground kick, if you like it, max it, but in my opinion it's not needed. The air teleport, it's really good. You can max it more than I do, but you will only get more altitude off it, so you will port in higher, but be aware, the moment you get it like past level 4 or level 5, you will port higher than you can actually use your shift RMB like I just did, so you will not be able to hit people on the ground at the moment. So that's why I only take it at level 1. You can get it higher if you're not comfortable with enemies like Berserker who can probably still hit. As for shift RMB, I'm not sure whether to max it. I just put in some points, but it could be the same like Half Moon Kick. It's a nice addition to punish people, but it's not really useful for damage output. So you guys will need to check that one out for yourself. Yeah, I'm honest, but I sound a bit stupid if I don't know things and writing a guide or something that looks like it. But either way, the pentagram skill, pentagrams from hell, max it because the damage output is just insane. It doesn't give any additional stats, but it's still worth the max. Any other skills you want to max? Um, the sidestep slash or whatever. Max it. I suggest maxing it for just the invisible frame, and yeah, because the cooldown gets lower. Um, this one, the addition to the side slash, leave it at level 1 because, well, I've already pointed it out, the altitude, you won't want, you really don't want to get it higher than level 1. The E grab, I've seen people max it and it's a pretty good skill for damage. I'm not sure whether to max it though, but either way it's really nice. As for the piercing shot, just leave it at level 1 just because it has a piercing effect, piercing through guards. The bee thingy, I don't know, I recently heard it's called bee stinger or whatever. It's just a combo addition. It is nice to have, but it's not really a damage dealer. If you have SP left, you can always max those grabs, but to be honest, this skill is not worth maxing. or maybe it is. Um, Not sure about this, but if you level this skill up, you will actually be able to ring out people easier. Because now it kicks him, I don't know, about uh five five people distance, and can be further. So you will have to check that one out for yourself. It could be really nice, but ringing out people is for noobs. So I'm a noob because I do it for all the time. The grab is just the same. Just check the percentages and see if you just like it. Same for the double slashes and the E grab. If you're comfortable with certain skills and are able to hit it at a certain point, just max it. But always beware of the percentages and the additional effects. So make sure you check out the skills yourself as well. Because I'm also on a. Okay, and for the final and last skill, because I forgot, is one of the passive skills. This skill allows you to actually stack up more than 3 daggers, up to 5 daggers, so it's pretty good. I like it a lot because you can just, before a PvP match starts, you can charge up your daggers, and you will have time to charge them up to 5, I guess. And in all honesty, all those daggers are so. So, I guess this is it for our little class interview or whatever you want to call it. And I hope you guys like it. If you have any tips or tricks for me, because I don't know, it's just my first time. Just point it out and write it on a topic. So see you guys around on one of my other videos. Peace.